guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a beginner starter makeup routine. This video is for my girlies who want to learn how to do their own makeup and they're not quite there yet. This is the year you're going to learn how to do your own makeup. I think learning how to do just a very basic face that looks great on you is important because sometimes we gotta go to events, we have to go to special occasions, dinners, you know what I'm saying, dates. And it's important to always put your best face forward when you have to go to occasions that require you to look the part, to look decent, to look put together, to look groomed, to look pretty and polished. So this will be a very starter and basic routine. And as I upload more tutorials, I will help you elevate your beauty routine. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is ahliyahmichelle. I know I can be a very bougie gal. So in today's video, I will be using all affordable makeup and it will be linked all in one place in the top of my description box. So go ahead and click that link and every single product that I will be using will be pictured there, so you can kind of like browse and shop every single product that I use in today's video. So without further congé, let's get into it. Did you know that Got To Be came out with a brow gel? So yes, girl, we're going to be using it today. It's important to have your brows look decent, so just take a brow gel and run it through your brows in one direction, the direction in which you would like them to lay. Let it dry down, and then we're going to shape them with a brow pencil. If your brows are a little bit more unruly than mine, just go ahead and take your finger or like a metal plate and just press it down and flatten your brow hairs as the brow gel is still wet. One of my favorite affordable brow pencils is the Balm Ferocious brow pencil. We're going to use a light hand and stroke it in the direction in which our brow hairs lay. So I'm just gonna gently stroke it in the direction in which I brushed my brow hairs up with that brow gel. After we've achieved our desired brow shape, we're just gonna take a little bit of concealer. Not too light, you know, don't make it too bright, but lighter than your flesh tone, okay? This just gives your brows an overall polished look. I'm gonna use a straight edged brush and just allow this to glide under my brow. It's gonna do most of the work for me, so I don't have to put pressure on myself to do detail work. Let the brush do the detail work for you. And then after I've carved out my brow, I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out that concealer and diffuse it into the skin. Let the brushes do the work for you. You ain't gotta put too much effort into makeup, okay? Brows are done, and now we're gonna go ahead and prime our face. I'm gonna use this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This has a great grip to it and your makeup will stick right to it. You don't need to use no more than 2 pumps. And we're just going to put it in the places that your makeup can slip and slide. For me, that's around my mouth because I talk and laugh a lot, my inner cheeks because that always gets oily, and just where my face always moves. So basically the lower half, because when I talk, this lower half of my face moves. And just pat it in, as well as your nose, because noses tend to get oily. Think of primer like shapewear. It sets the tone for how your outfit is going to look. Primer will set the tone for how your makeup sits on your face and its longevity, how long it lasts. Skincare isn't primer. Skincare is the primer to primer, and primer is the primer to makeup. And now we're gonna go ahead and apply some foundation. Foundation should match your skin exactly or close to it. My favorite affordable foundation at the moment is the Sephora collection Best Skin Ever. Sephora actually sent me some makeup at the beginning of this year, and it was my first time trying the Sephora collection makeup. Oh my gosh, it's so good. If you're my shade twin, I'm in the shade 33.5Y. I am a yellow olive undertone. Before I apply my foundation, I'm going to take a facial mist. This one is by Milani, and a beauty sponge. I'm going to drench my beauty sponge in this facial mist. Normally you would do that with water, but when you drench your sponge in facial mist, it infuses into your makeup the entire way through. When you blend your foundation, concealer, powders, this facial mist will infuse into your entire makeup routine and will look flawless. This is the Milani Supercharged Revitalizing Facial Mist. This smells so good. Oh my gosh, it smells like citrus. This will aid in a flawless makeup application from start to finish. Okay, this sponge isn't affordable. It is the Fenty Beauty sponge. It is one of my favorite sponges, so I am going to use it. It isn't that expensive. I think it's a little cheaper than a beauty blender. And we are just going to press this foundation into our skin. If you're on a budget but still want that luxury makeup feel, Definitely check out Sephora collection if you haven't already. At the beginning of this year, it was actually my first time using Sephora collection makeup. I know. But girl, it's actually super good. Your foundation should be all blended in. Now we're gonna go ahead and conceal. You can use concealer for so many different purposes. Depending on the shade that you use, you can use it to highlight, conceal, contour, bronze, sculpt. There are so many uses for concealer, and it's probably one of my favorite makeup products because it's just so multi-purposeful. But for now, we're just going to use it to brighten, and I'm going to use it in the places in which I would like the light to bounce off of. So that's going to be under my eyes, my chin, my nose, and my forehead. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it under my eyes. And I have a round face, so I kind of bring my concealer a little bit lower so the light can bounce off of my cheek, and it just sculpts my face a little bit better, and it's more complementary for my face shape. So apply concealer in a way in which complements your face shape. Not all of us can bring concealer this low because it just doesn't look right. For me, it looks beautiful. The light just bounces off my cheek and just snatched. Now we're gonna allow that concealer to sit just for a little bit while we multitask and bronze and contour our face. If you haven't heard of Thread Beauty, they are a Black-owned beauty brand available in Target, and everything is only $8. I did partner with them back in December, and it was by far one of my favorite partnerships I've done the entire year last year. I'll link it down below so you can go ahead and check it out. We're going to use their Face It sticks, and we're going to sculpt our face. They come in so many different shades. You can use this for foundation, concealer, but today I'm going to use it for bronze tour, and we're going to warm up and sculpt our face with it. This is the shade 130, and I'm going to apply it to my forehead to warm it up. And these are so blendable. For it to only be $8, the formula is just mwah, chef's kiss. Super easy to use, super creamy as well. And I'm just going to sculpt my cheek. This is just going to warm up my face. This isn't necessarily contour, it's just warmth. It adds warmth to the face. And then we haven't touched our concealer yet. I'm gonna go ahead and take a fluffy kabuki-like brush and just blend in this bronze tour. And it's from the same creator of the lip bar. So Thread Beauty is like the sister brand. It's like the lip bar had a baby and made Thread Beauty. It literally blends out in no time. We warmed up the face, but we didn't necessarily sculpt it. So I'm going to take a deeper Face It complexion stick by the same brand, Thread Beauty, and we're just going to chisel our jaw. You know, we got clock the double chin. I'm going to chisel my jaw and right up under my cheek, and that is going to give us that sculpted effect. Because these blend super easy, I'm thinking you are capable of doing just this. So this one is only one shade deeper. It's in the shade 140. And I'm going to put it literally right under where I bronze toured. And it's just going to snatch your face. Bronzing creates warmth. Contouring creates shadows. So I like that warmthy shadow look. And go ahead and take the same brush. We don't have to use too many different brushes. And I'm just going to tap that into where I applied the first warm shade. And your cheeks will literally get snatched. Don't worry, we're not done blending yet, not too much. And then I'm going to take that same beauty sponge and just tap out the edges so everything looks seamless and diffused. And when you're applying makeup to your jaw area, do make sure to blend it down the neck so everything is seamless and looks as if it's the same tone. All right, we're slightly bronze toured, slightly sculpted, and now we're gonna go ahead and blend out our concealer. I'm just gonna go ahead and flip my sponge over, and I'm just going to use that and just blend out my concealer. Because we drenched our sponge in that facial mist, everything should blend super seamlessly. And as you're blending the concealer, you can use that to clean up the bronzer if you brought it down too far, because sometimes we misplace, and we can just clean it up with concealer, foundation, whatever's left on our sponge, so we're not adding more product onto our face. The more you blend, the better it'll look, honey. And just go ahead and marry, is what I like to call it. Marry the foundation, the concealer, and the bronze tour together so they just flow. Your face just flows into one. When you sculpt your face with creams, it really just helps you clean up mistakes. It's harder to clean up mistakes when you've set your face. So I like to perfect my face with all cream and liquid products and then set all of that into place. And I also just like to take whatever's left on my sponge and blend it onto my lids just so everything is even. Okay, we've blended everything in. So this is the time where you double check your blend. So check your cheeks, check your cheekbones, check your jaw, your nose, your forehead, everything. Make sure you've blended everything to your liking, because after we set it, it's really hard to fix mistakes. Like once it's set, it's set. I mean, you can fix it with like powder foundation and pigmented products like that, but this is a beginner starter makeup routine, okay? We have to work our way up to those advanced techniques and those advanced levels of makeup fixing and makeup application, which I will teach. Don't you fret, don't you worry. Now it's time to set our face. Sephora collection also makes a really good translucent setting powder, so we're going to use that and a powder puff. So we're just going to dump as much translucent powder as you want to the cap. And then I'm gonna take a powder puff. I'm sure you've seen this all over TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. The girlies love it, I love it. And we're going to load up that powder puff with translucent powder. So once it looks like this, we're just going to work it in there and build it up. So just slowly load up your powder puff and just work that powder into it. This will give you that flawless airbrushed powdered look. It'll look velvety, it'll look smooth, it won't look patchy, it won't look dry. It's like that hydrated set look. Work it in there as best as you can because you want an even powder application. So blend out any creases. Again, make sure everything is seamless and flawless because girl, once you set, it's set in place. Work that powder first into the places in which you applied that brightening concealer. And just keep pressing that powder in until it is fully melted into that concealer. When you load up a powder puff, every like pat releases powder. So you really don't have to worry about dipping your powder puff back into the powder. Just pat it and powder should release from the powder puff. Okay, this eye is set, it's smooth, it looks good. Sephora collection literally makes some of the best makeup I've ever tried. Like, oh my gosh. Why haven't I tried it sooner? I literally just tried it this year. Okay, so we set the under eye. Now we're just gonna lightly tap out the edges so you can't tell that there's just a whole line of demarcation where we set our under eye. The under eye is really the only place I set really well. All of the other places we will just lightly set just to mattify, but I don't want my under eyes creasing. I'm sure you don't either. So setting it really well and making sure that powder locks in that concealer will make the difference on how your makeup wears. Our under eyes are set. Now we're gonna go ahead and set our chin and press when you set. You don't wanna swipe because you're going to disturb all of that hard work that you just did with those creamy and liquidy products. So just press into the skin. Don't do any rubbing, don't do any swiping because then you might look a mess. We don't want you to look a mess, okay? We want you to look flawless, so just press. As for the rest of my face, I don't wanna put a powder puff into it because it'll just make me look ashy, girl. So I'm going to use a fluffy brush and the lightest amount of powder, okay? It'll still mattify, it just won't make you look like a corpse. And we're just going to lightly press that into the skin. And this will also get off any excess powder that is lingering on the skin. Now we're going to add life back into our face because powder can sometimes take away that life, so we're going to add it back in. First, I'm going to take this Sephora collection Micro Smooth Quad. First of all, Sephora Micro Smooth is giving a MAC mineralized skin finish for a fraction of the price, okay? I'm gonna take this bronzy shade and just bring back life into my cheeks. Sephora collection Micro Smooth literally makes you look airbrushed. And a little bit on the forehead. I don't want you to compare how you do your makeup to how I do mine, because I do this for a living, okay? Sometimes I can get a little bit too advanced and ahead of myself when I'm teaching beginner makeup. That's on me. So if you want to skip a few steps or skip anything that I've done because it's unnecessary for you, go ahead and do that. And we don't want to overcomplicate nose contouring, so I won't do that in this video. I'm just going to take that same brush and just lightly dust it on the sides of my nose. I think a nose contour tends to be overdone and overcomplicated. We just want shadows on the sides of our nose so our nose doesn't look flat. You don't want too much product on your nose. It doesn't look good. It's just gonna slip and slide everywhere. Noses tend to be the first ones to get oily. Now we want that blushy glow. So I'm going to take this Pixie On The Go blush. I don't really like the shape of it, so I'm just going to warm it up on the back of my hand. Now, I was supposed to do this step before I set my face, but girl, I forgot. So normally I would do this before I set my face. So I'm just going to take the booty of the sponge, because we haven't used the booty yet, and I'm just going to gently tap that onto my cheeks. And this makes a great base for powder blush and enables the powder blush to last all day. And it just gives a nice healthy glow to the cheeks that makes you look youthful, glowy, and just absolutely stunning. This is shaped like a deodorant and I have no idea why. Like, I'm not understanding, Pixie. Gonna use the booty. Make sure to tap, don't rub. Because we already set our face, we would disturb the base. We don't wanna do that. And it just gives that nice healthy glow. That's just so beautiful. Now we're gonna use that same Sephora Micro Smooth Quad. We're gonna go into the blushy shades and we're just gonna tap that over that cream blush we applied. This will lock it into place and add an even more intense pop of color to the cheeks. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I love blush. It just makes you so happy. Like, once I put on blush, I just feel like that girl. Like, ain't nobody tell me nothing. Beautiful. Build it up to your intended intensity. And again, this palette just matches me perfectly, so I can use it for all of these steps. I'm gonna now take the highlight shade. And what I like to do when I don't wear any shadow is add highlighter to my brow bone. It just looks so beautiful and the glow just follows you everywhere. Every time you turn your head, baby, the glow is following you. And then I also like to put a little bit on the upper bridge of my nose, just a little bit, and the tip. Don't bring it all the way down. It doesn't look as good as you think it does. Put intentional placement with highlighter. Because highlighter reflects light anyways, there's no point in packing on highlighter. You look a mess. We don't want to look a mess. We just want to glow from within. Okay, we're actually almost done. We just need to apply mascara and a lip. Me personally, I'm usually a false/girly, but I will teach you how to apply false lashes in another video. I know that's not everyone's area of expertise, so we'll just apply mascara. When I do wear mascara, I love to apply a lash primer because it just makes your lashes look even better. And I love when the mascara company makes a primer for their mascara. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Sky High Lash Primer as well as the Maybelline Sky High Mascara. I already have curly lashes, so I personally don't need to curl my own lashes. But if you need to curl your lashes, go ahead and curl them with a lash curler. I have never really had to use a lash curler ever. I just have naturally curly lashes, so I'm going to skip that. And I'm going to apply this lash primer, which is actually tinted, which means our lashes might look even more, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to apply that first and then apply the mascara. Okay, we applied the lash primer. Now for the mascara to layer on top. Lastly, all we need to do is put on a lip. If you're wondering who makes the best affordable brown lip liners, it's Milani, okay? I'm going to be using the Milani lip liner in Saucy Toffee. They also make a deeper one in the shade Rich Cocoa. Two perfect browns for us, the melanated queens, honey. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and top it off with this glossed lip gloss by, again, a Sephora collection. And that is going to complete our beginner starter makeup routine. You can use a lipstick. I'm not really a lipstick girl, and if I am, it's more of a creamy lipstick. But my favorite one isn't affordable, okay? It's the Fenty Beauty Slip Shine. That is my favorite lipstick formula. So baby, let's get these ashy lips together. It's like that perfect wearable brown tone. I love Milani lip liners. And we're just gonna top it off with some gloss. What shade is this? This is in the shade Fly. This has a good tint to it. It's like a natural nude with some shimmer, and it just looks great on the lips. And our look is complete. I think we look very natural, fresh faced, as well as bronze. I think this is such a beautiful beginner friendly makeup look. I mean, me personally, I would pop on a lash, but this Maybelline Sky High Mascara made my lashes look amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. Again, everything will be listed. No, everything will be linked at the top link of my description box. It'll be all in one place so you can browse every single product that I used in today's video. Ugh, this blush. I just love a sculpted cheek. Like, it's always the cheek for me. If you want me to expand upon anything that I mentioned in this video, please be sure to leave me a comment down below. I plan on making an entire series breaking down all of the basics of makeup to help you improve your everyday makeup routines. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Leave any video requests in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!